All right, guys, welcome back. Weight T Boost here with another banger to help you guys ascend and optimize your life. Today's just gonna be a super simple overview of the diet, the lifestyle, and everything I've done to make damn near about a year of progress in just the last 3 months, just because I fully locked in on what I truly believe is right in terms of eating, living, all that good stuff. So, super simple breakdown for you guys here today. I was gonna film it outside, however, it's raining. So we're gonna be in the garage, but I'm still gonna have the rain in the background for the ambiance. So enjoy today's video. You guys are gonna learn a shit ton. Stick to the end. All right, let's begin with the first episode of the ascension journey that we're gonna do on the channel here going forward. Next coming days, we got, tanning and UV 10 plus without sunscreen, how to properly do that, get to a point where you can. And it kind of starts here with the base foundation. So this is why this is a great episode 1. It's just get the basics right, and then you can get everything else right. You got to build that foundation so you can get your skyscraper, right? That's what it's all about. And I had been building this foundation that I'm about to lay out to you for the past 9 months, and I fully locked in this foundation for the past 3. And once I fully locked in, and there's no more cheat meals, no more super late nights, no more inconsistent sleep, because I had everything on this right except the sleep, and that's what was holding me back. Once I locked that in, whew, I'm dialed, bro. Like, I'm telling you guys, the change is insane. I feel younger than I just turned 22 and I feel younger than I did when I was like 18. Because I remember at 18, bro, I was having like 3 energy drinks a day, 3 Celsiuses. I mean, I was getting up at 4:30 every morning, but still, man, like, I needed the caffeine. Now, I do use caffeine, but more sparingly and more appropriate. Same with carbs, but we'll get there. Today's episode is sponsored by the Mountain Valley. No, I'm just playing. I wish, man, one day, man, gotta have dreams. So, yeah, in the next few episodes, we'll go over the tanning, posture stretch to add inches to your height. You want to appear as more confident, right? So you want your chest up in correct posture. Correct posture will help your face angularity as well. And then what's the other one we'll do? This one we'll touch on it, but how healing gut health pretty much cured my anxiety and any form of, I guess, depression. We'll say I've never been like truly depressed. I would say I haven't had it as hard as most people do. So I have sympathy for people that actually go through depression. I'm not gonna try to label that I did, but there were days because of my diet that I was sad or like not as happy, I guess. So it all starts here with the foundation, though, in episode 1. So you guys are tuning in for the most pivotal one because we need to build the base, right? It's like your physique. You need a strong core before you can start building your upper, because if you get way too big, well, what's going to happen is your core's not strong enough to hold your upper frame, or it just gets tight, bro, and then you got pain and stuff like that. So you need a strong core. And you need a strong foundation for lifestyle and diet. So we're going to break it up into 2 categories. I'm just going to go over my entire diet and a lot of philosophy behind my diet. And then we're going to dive into lifestyle, the same thing. So let's start off with the diet. I'm gonna come down here and write some things and just explain them. So it's gonna be super basic, random bullet points. So the first lesson in terms of diet that we have to accept that there was a narrative at one point, and it's still out there, that cholesterol is bad for you. You determine whether cholesterol will be bad for you. For someone like me who's very locked in on diet, I don't consume refined seed oils. I would live very optimal. So my cholesterol is going to always be healthy and actually beneficial in terms of cholesterol for men, right? It's the precursor. It's the first step for that testosterone production, right? The cholesterol intake, right? Cholesterol is the start. Maybe I'll remember to put it on the screen. But this is commonly known now that eating a bunch of eggs, sometimes specifically before night, is going to help you guys out in the long run, especially with gym performance. I'll have eggs before the gym and then I'll have eggs at night. And I just feel more aggression in those workout sessions. And then, definitely through the night, it works because, you wake up bricked. But I'm not going to go too into detail on that. Y'all know. Y'all know that eggs are going to be a great source of protein as well. Eat the yolks runny, right? You don't want to kill the micronutrients. But definitely cook the whites. They do have avid and a few other anti-nutrients that you don't want. So cook the whites, because the whites just taste really gross. And that actually leads me into the next point. That's a good transition. I didn't plan on that. But I like these free-form videos because I can really just speak my mind to you guys, and this is just all coming from the heart of what I'm living. So the next one, this is a good point, is intuitive eating, I guess, is the slang now. Essentially what this means is when you get to a point where you heal your gut, you go through the whole process because the gut-brain connection is so real, gut mindset, gut mood, like your gut determines your mindset, 100%. I'll kind of put that on the screen. You guys can look into it more if you don't believe me, because it's kind of hard to believe, right? A lot of the stuff that I'm going to be showing you guys on this channel from here on out might be kind of hard to believe because it's not going to be in line with what you've been taught. It's not in line with what I was taught. Less than a year ago, I was having protein shakes, and I was still consuming seed oil to the max, soy max, like granola bars that had protein in them, because I thought I was getting numbers. And I wondered why I had so much acne, and I felt like shit all the time, and I just felt like a mess, man. I felt like it was a mess. But what I'm saying is, once you start to learn to heal your gut and you start to understand your own body's intuition, specifically with diet, and the lifestyle section we'll talk about in terms of life choices and how you're living, in terms of how your happiness is and if you have a clear mind. But for now, we're just speaking on diet. I go off of my intuition. When I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm hungry for something, I eat it. And the reason I can get away with that is because since I'm no longer addicted to like fast food, I'm not a fast food fiend or like a sweets or dopamine fiend in terms of diet. Like when my intuition hits, it's like, oh, I need to go eat some watermelon because I got 10K steps and the UV was super high, so I'm super dehydrated. I need electrolytes, I need deuterium levels. Like, so in a sense like that, becoming intuitive with what your body needs. So like anytime I'm craving like salt, in the past, what masked the fact that I needed meat in that moment, it was, oh, I'm gonna have some popcorn or chips because it's salty, I'm craving that. I wasn't craving the chips itself, I was just addicted to them because they gave off that imitation that I was eating meat because I needed salt. But I actually really needed meat. So my body knew it needed salt, but it really needed meat. You know, so that's just an example. Once you get that intuitive eating, I never worry about calories anymore. I just kind of eat whatever I burn in a day. You know, I try to go for, you know, I'm about 170 pounds. I try to get 150 grams of protein. I don't think you need the 1-to-1 ratio. I don't think it's necessary. I think you're overeating protein at that point, especially because me, in the next point, I get all of my meat, my eggs, my unpasteurized milk. Ugh, that actually looks really bad. Sorry, guys. Local farm, right? Local farm is super important, guys. This is a really deep topic I will dive into in a whole new video, and that could be like an hour-long video, but the way I believe it is, you know, obviously you want to eat the highest quality meat, right? Because it's going to have the most protein, and what I was trying to say before is since I'm eating high-quality meat, I don't need as much grams of protein because everything I get is the top of the line in terms of bioavailability, and it's like, if you get enough of the good thing, you don't need to get more. You get what I'm saying? Like, to get the equivalent of like the meat I eat and 150 grams of protein, you probably have to eat like 320 grams of fake protein and like powders and stuff to be equivalent, like, because that's just not bioavailable. That's a whole whatever. But in terms of the local farm, it's super important, right? Because it honestly saves you a lot of money. You can't get unpasteurized milk at the store. A lot of the beef at the store is kind of sus, even if it's organic and grass-fed. Like if it's worst case scenario, you don't have a farm, or you're just too lazy to find one online, like go to realmilkfinder.com and you can find it. Like I have to drive like 45 minutes to get mine, but that's okay because what is worth putting more into in your life other than health, right? Like I'm willing to go an hour to fill up 60 of these bottles with natural spring water that is from my like region, you know. It's worth doing. Because the reality is, once you live this life and you kind of start to get a sense of what it feels like to live optimal and actually know what true health is, you can never go back because, you know, ignorance is bliss. You know, I would never be able to eat fast food again just because I know how bad it is for me, right? And the next point is I never have cheats, bro. I haven't had a cheat meal in so long, and I haven't had fast food in so long. Like, it's so toxic for you, bro. And if you're concerned about feeling your best, looking your best, like fast food is just a no-go. And some people think they can get away with, oh, I'm just gonna have fast food once a week. It's just, it's in moderation. But they don't realize the foods, the toxins that are in that one meal last in your body almost sometimes up to a year, depending on what we're talking about. You know, it's like people who eat too much spinach, right? A buildup of oxalates, like way too much that our body can't naturally push out. So it's gonna become backed up, and that's gonna, you know, lead to kidney stones. You know, but that's the hard reality. You know, you can't eat fast food. There's no more cheating. But the good news is, once you adjust your taste buds and you get more into the intuitive eating, you never even want the fast food because you know how bad it's going to make you feel. And then you've turned into a point where you're not eating food necessarily for pleasure, and it's more out of what its purpose is, right? And that's actually, I'm going to write that down in lifestyle. That's a good quote. Come on. That's a really good one. Purpose over pleasure. We'll go over it when we get to the actual lifestyle section in terms of how it applies to that. But for diet, like, you're eating food knowing it's going to make you feel good, not because it's going to taste good in the moment. But like all the berries and fruits I eat taste amazing. The beef and eggs taste amazing. So I don't even want to ever go back to like Cane's. I used to get the Keeniac combo all the time. Oh, it's high in protein. That's the other thing too. In terms of diet, I won't write it down. I'll just briefly mention it. I don't eat chicken. I don't really eat seafood anymore because I just can't get a good source of it. Yeah, it's tough. Sometimes I'd have salmon. Sushi I used to have a lot. I don't have any rice. I don't have any grains. I'm just literally all I eat, guys, is the eggs. I'll just write down what I actually eat. That's probably a good point. Eggs, fruit, red meat, 1 pound actually, and then I'll go 6 to 8 eggs. And honestly, I'm so serious, that's about it. Like, literally thinking in these last 3 months, I haven't eaten anything other than the eggs, the fruit, and red meat. Yeah, that's it, because I don't do rice, I don't do greens. All I eat is the eggs, the red meat, about 1 pound of it if it's ground beef or a steak from the farm, and then just fruits. I've been having so many carbs lately, honestly, with the fruits. They make me feel good. They hydrate me again, so I like watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple. Those are like the big four, the final four, you could say. Berries, it depends, because I don't have any fiber. I'm anti-fiber. But however, sometimes when you have fruits, there's gonna be some natural fibers, whatever. You know, if you don't have too much of it, it actually could be useful in that sense. But people who overeat fiber, they're doing it for a few reasons. One, to feel full so they don't overeat in this obese society. And then two, they're trying to push their stool. However, there's countless studies that anyone with constipation issues or stomach issues on that, once they removed fiber and added some more saturated fats like beef tallow, they were totally fine. Beef tallow is my next point. This is all I cook in. So in terms of dairy, I am technically lactose. However, I can get away with unpasteurized dairy because it still has the enzymes to break down the lactate. So I'm okay with, you know, some raw milk. I don't usually get raw butter. So instead of that, I just use beef tallow. That's what I cook in. I'll just kind of have scoops of it here and there. And what I've noticed is it's definitely helped with my gut health for sure. It almost goes in there and makes it stronger, right? The saturated fats. And then that's also technically my sunscreen, right? I don't have really any polyunsaturated fats other than the low amount in the eggs. So I'm able to go out and tan because I'm built of, you know, saturated fats, not polyunsaturated. That's why people get really red skin. So that's why beef tallow is super important. Good for your gut health, and then it's gonna be just good for you overall, you know, with your diet. And then the one thing that is super, super important is slow eating. I used to rush and only do like 15 chews and eat it as fast as I could and eat while standing up. But doing all those things is gonna, you know, make you stressed. It's gonna stress out your nervous system. So the best way to eat, ideally, obviously this doesn't always happen even for me, sometimes I eat inside, is to get outside, you know, ground your feet, eat slow, and just really enjoy the food. But you can do that if it's whatever, you can do it inside, do the same thing, but I don't usually eat with a phone. I don't eat standing anymore, right? I'm trying to eat when I activate my parasympathetic nervous system, so I like to ground, you know, breathe a little bit, and then eat. And then in terms of eating, like, I don't eat too late in the night. If I eat late in the night, it's only like 3 to 4 eggs. But other than that, not too much at night. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not necessarily against here and there if like I was gonna eat like half a pound of beef like at 9 p.m. if I ate it super slow. If I was gonna eat it fast, then I'd be concerned because like I'm not gonna really get true REM sleep. So, but in that sense, if you were eating it slow, you know, you didn't cook it too much, you'd be okay. Eating late at night and then being able to fall asleep and actually get REM sleep. The next point I wanna make is rare or raw. Sometimes, if the meat is sourced well and it's a nice steak, I eat that raw or uncooked. If it's a very good source of ground beef, like from the farm, there's times I'll just eat it out of it. Other than that, if it's like store-bought, I'm gonna cook it slightly, but it's gonna be very rare, like the rarest of rare, just like the outside, and that's really it. Just because honestly, cooking does make it taste better, I'm not gonna lie. However, you definitely feel a lot better. My digestion is a lot better when it's raw or uncooked, which makes sense, right? You know, there's no advanced glycation, AGEs on that. So, you know, it's one of those things you can, once again, if you maybe ate half a pound, you know, of a steak raw right before bed, you'd probably be able to digest it pretty well. And it wouldn't wreck your sleep. So in terms of diet, oh yeah, I guess I gotta talk about that too. Let's see, I'll write it in the top area. Spring water. I only drink spring water now. We live in a society, you know, with the estrogens, the microplastics, all the toxins in the filtered water or the tap waters. So, you know, it's one of those things. Yes, I drive 45 minutes to fill up 60 of these, but it's worth it. Or I think it's about an hour. It's like 55 minutes. But it's worth it, bro. Like, it's once you switch to the spring water, it's impossible to go back because you taste the difference, you feel the difference. It's the same with the food. Ignorance is bliss. I used to be okay with, you know, eating the junk food. I knew it was bad for me, but I didn't know how bad. Oh, I had the filtered water just out of the Brita. You know, I knew it was probably bad for me. It wasn't all the way good, but I didn't really care to look into how bad. And then once you learn, you go down the rabbit hole and you learn, oh man, you can never go back. That's the hard reality. Because there was times where I remember people were like, oh yeah, you know, you should come out and drink with us, and I'd be like, bet them down. But then it would get to the moment and I'd be like, it's just not worth it. And then it seemed like junk food. At first I'd be like, oh, I guess, because a part of me used to love that stuff, right? I used to be addicted to it in a way. But now it's like, I just don't see the point. Like, sure, I remember it was fun, and so it tastes, you know, that dopamine is great, but it's like, it's not necessary to spend your dopamine on, if that makes sense. Like, there's better things to spend your dopamine on. So that's really it, I think, for the diet. It's super brief, super simple. It's just, you know, the main point's definitely intuitive eating, definitely eating whole foods. You know, I don't do fiber, I don't do grains, I don't do bread. And if you guys just want to be super lean, you know, low water weight, water retention, just like be super, just, I feel just optimal. I just feel consistently good. There's no ups and downs. So it's one of those things, it's like, why would I stop? You know? So it's one of those things, if you start, you might not be able to stop. So are you ready to sacrifice the fun stuff, you know, the junk food, you know, doing the protein shakes and stuff, and still just, you know, ignorance is bliss thing, or, you know, you want to sacrifice, you know? And that's what I had to battle for a while, because I was only like 80% in. You know, those first 6 months of switching to the beef diet, I was still, you know, be having cheat meals, late nights and all that stuff. And then eventually when I locked in and I felt how consistent this can feel and it's sustainable, dude, I mean, why would you not stay there? It makes zero sense, to be honest. So let's start talking about lifestyle. Actually, that's a great start. Purpose over pleasure, kind of like we talked about earlier. Everyone has bad habits. I still have bad habits. I'm not perfect. However, comparing myself to myself 4 years ago, I'm not even going to talk about the general public. Everyone has things they're dealing with. I'm just going to talk from my perspective, and you can learn from me. You get what I'm saying? Like, no one's perfect, and I'm not either, and I have empathy for everyone, because some people have no idea. You know, so I'm just going to compare myself to my old self. So, you know, the habits I used to do like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, even like last year, like I was saying with having protein shakes and late nights, you know, it was more about like doing things for pleasure. Like, it was always, okay, what's in it for me? You know, how is this going to make me feel? You know, is this going to benefit me, or like not necessarily benefit in terms of like advancing, but in terms of, I don't know, like if you're going to go to the party, you know, where's there going to be the drink for me? Like, you know, stuff like that is what I'm trying to say. I was trying to go for more of like pleasures, living for the world, you could say. And I switched that to doing everything and making sure every habit I had a good purpose. So I'm going to go over everything I do in my life right now and what its purpose is for. So, for example, when I wake up in the morning, I make my bed. That's just a first win of the day. I've done that for years. After that, I go outside and I walk barefoot. I ground with the earth. So, you know, when you wake up, you spike your cortisol. So I'm going to activate my parasympathetic nervous system and calm down. You know, so I go on a walk fasted so I can burn off the body fat. And then I have some caffeine. I do like black coffee a lot. I think it's one of those things, like, yes, it is technically negative, but the output it gives you, or the potential it can give you to work harder, is going to outweigh the risks, in my opinion, especially if you live optimal and it's a good source of caffeine and it's just, you know, just straight black coffee, you know. So that's a good purpose. Posture stretching to add extra height and, you know, always feel loose and not ever have any back pain or tightness and stuff. Going to bed early, you know, all that good stuff. Let's see, I like going to the park to play basketball. It's a good way to burn calories and kind of is my mental escape. I like lifting, obviously. I like swimming in the lake, ocean if I'm near an ocean. Those are all just really good activities to connect with nature. I like walking in nature. I like walking through paths outside that aren't even like a path. It's just like through the woods, you know, or off-trail stuff. I just like connecting with nature. So all that stuff has a purpose and it's all benefiting me in my life. So I'm going to start writing them down and kind of talking about them. First things first, in terms of the lifestyle, I'm going to go over some of the things I do every day to stay lean and grounded. Let's see, so blah, blah, blah. My handwriting kind of sucks because I got to get, you know, really low here at this angle. Whatever, I'll say it so it doesn't even matter. What is a good final one? Because I want to do 4 so you guys actually have some options here. Because the ones I currently have are great. You know, honestly, it's going to be brief, but let's go for it. And they'll just apply to most things. Okay, let's go. So, every day I check these off. Every day. I get 15,000 steps. I'm on like a 180-day streak. Some days I get 20, like some days I actually get like 30K here and there. So that's what keeps me super lean. It's the only cardio I do. Low stress on your body. And I don't even see it as just like a workout. I see it as an escape and a way to connect with nature, because I'll walk barefoot in the grass. It's just a good way to calm down your mind. Posture stretch every morning. It is so important for me to have good posture, because I believe it does help with the angularity of your face. Like if you have bad posture, like it can kind of make it look like you don't have as much facial definition. And me being someone like, I want to, look healthy, and one of the ways to look healthy is to have good face, symmetry, angularity. So if it can enhance it, I'm gonna do it. So I've been posture stretching for years. It keeps me at my max height that I can be at without slouching me. It's good for your spine health, and it's really good for, especially low back pain is what I've noticed. I don't really get it anymore unless I don't stretch. All right, so stretching is super important. Staying positive is so important. And this is the brief one I was kind of talking about. It's so important to just look at everything with a positive mindset. And instead of just being like, in a negative way, why did this happen? In a positive way, why did this happen? And then start uncovering the layers. Something bad is going on in your life. Like, let's say you're getting headaches all the time. Instead of like, oh, why is this happening to me? And then really doing nothing about it and just slapping on some Tylenol or something, you go, why is this happening? Right? And then you start looking deeper. Okay, well, I'm on my phone 8 hours a day. I don't even put on the blue light filter on there. I don't wear blue light glasses. So, that could be a reason. Or I didn't drink any water, or the water I drink was poor quality, and my food quality. Like, you got to look at the actual source of the issue. So that's why I like stay positive. If you're always positive, once an issue comes up, you're going to look straight to the source, because it's like, oh, well, why am I feeling this way? How can I feel better? Right? And looking at it like almost in a blessing in a way, which sounds kind of weird. Like if I was getting a bunch of headaches, like that doesn't really sound like a blessing, but it would teach me to learn how to heal my body. It's your body is sending you like a cry, an SOS when you get acne, when you have these things like headaches happen. It's telling you something is wrong. Help me, fix me. So that's why you got to become intuitive. So looking at it from a positive perspective makes it enjoyable. So, and then sleeping 8 to 9 hours. We'll get to that, but I had one more down here. Blue light blockers, but let's talk about sleep now. Having a good night routine has really helped me get consistent sleep, like falling asleep like that. So, usually I take a nice warm shower. After a night walk, warm shower, brush teeth, do the hygiene and stuff. Do my journal. I love journaling because it helps me track my progress and helps me know I got positive momentum. That's what it's all about, momentum. And wearing blue light blockers, super important, guys. And then at night I light my house in just candles, and then I have like red lights in the bathroom too, so like it's super low lighting, it's not stressful, it's not going to keep me up, it's going to allow me to then get my REM sleep. And when I say sleep 8 to 9 hours, I mean go to bed around that 9:30, 10 range, no later than that. You don't want to catch your second wind, because that's higher quality sleep when you go to bed actually early. It's going to allow you to get in the REM sleep, it's going to allow you to actually rejuvenate and feel a lot better. Like once you get the sleep done, guys, I promise you can accomplish anything when you get your sleep. I'm serious. I'm so serious. Like if I would have started getting better sleep 4 years ago, bro, I would have been so dialed. Even now, I've been getting consistent sleep for 3 months, and it's like light and day compared to what I was used to. And if I would have just started doing that 9 months ago, who knows where I would be right now then. And I'm addicted to that idea, because it's like, well, I already could have gotten so much further than where I'm at right now. That's why I need to keep going, because there's always the next pot of gold, right? And a lot of people are like, I take a lot of jumps, a lot of risks in life. Most people call it a risk, but I just call it a jump, because it's not a risk if all the odds are kind of on you, right? It's up to me to work hard. It's up to me to figure shit out. It's up to me to fully optimize my health so I can be happy all the time and positive and advance in the world and advance, in terms of, creating loving relationships, in terms of spreading love and joy, right? Just like Jesus intended, right? But most of us can't get there. And I couldn't get there just because I was held back by the wrong diet and the wrong lifestyle, and not, truly doing everything with purpose. And it's all about intentions. Everything you do, you have to put good intentions into. It's all about the energy you put out, right? If you go into something, you're like super negative, oh, I gotta go to work. You get to, bro. You have the opportunity. You have the opportunity to get to the next level. Where you're currently at, there is the next jump for you. It might not be as big as a jump as it is for you than someone else, or like me, or anyone else. But even if it's a small one, it's one jump, right? You gotta keep taking them. And then that momentum builds and you keep winning. So if you guys just build the foundation here, really lock in the diet, do all the things I talked about, and in terms of lifestyle, just, oh, actually one more important thing. All natural products, all natural like toothpaste, all natural soaps, all natural anything you're gonna put on your body. I used to wear colognes all the time. I spray that right into my bloodstream. I used to wear all these fragrances, and then like some of these body washes have like red 40 in them. It's like, whoa. So you gotta be cautious. Stuff you put on your body is still gonna get absorbed in your body. So be careful. 100% cotton shirt. I love these. 100% cotton shorts and underwear on. Boom. Not even wearing socks, but I'm pretty sure I got cotton socks because they get hot. So yeah, that's really it, guys. Honestly, you lock in the lifestyle, you lock in the diet, then you can do anything else, because this system, these principles, these ideas can be applied to anyone in any situation, and then the rest is on you. Like if you like if your dreams to be a pro sports player, if you built a foundation like this, you could get there if you were a sports player, versus if you're someone just worked a 9 to 5. If you built in these foundations, you would kill it in your 9 to 5 and probably advance up the chain. You get what I'm saying? And not just be someone who gets by day and just, you know, and just being present too, guys, is super important. If I could just, the biggest message I think to end this video on is just be present. One day at a time, because all you got right now is the present time. Enjoy it. Don't be thinking about next week or next month. Obviously have goals, set goals, but live in the moment, man. Don't dread things. Don't have regrets. You know, I have a lot of regrets in life, and it motivates me to just give everything my all so I don't have any more regrets. Because I already have too many in my life. I don't want any more, so that's why I work so hard. But that's Springwater's gas pack, guys. This was a gas pack video. We're back on the channel. I like this freeform stuff because I can just kind of speak my mind, really put my personality out there for you guys, and definitely give you some good information that you can bring into your life. And I just want to see you guys ascend, really, because it's super important too. Especially with me, like I look back at old pictures of me and I'm like, dude, all it took was just a little bit more self-respect, and now I'm at this level. So you guys can all do it too. I believe in all of y'all. I hope y'all keep pushing, keep believing in yourself, and don't ever quit. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. See ya.